Hello, welcome to the Center for Rural Affairs Rural Rapport. We do this every Tuesday at noon, share information about something we're working on or something that we think could help our followers. So tune in every Tuesday at noon. I will be doing this same presentation again at 12:30 today, but in Spanish. So if you're interested in that, come back around 12:30. My name is Molly Malone. I am a policy assistant for the center. I work out of my home in southwest Minnesota. The Center for Rural Affairs is headquartered in Nebraska. We were founded in 1973, and the mission is to create vibrant rural communities. So we work on pretty much any issue that has to do with that, and it covers quite a wide variety of topics. Today, I will be talking to you about small businesses and how they can prepare for COVID affecting their work. I was looking into how to prepare small businesses for different types of disasters, flooding, you know, any of that stuff that happens around here. And there wasn't a lot for COVID. Pandemic planning is not something in most business plans. And the stuff that was out there felt like it was for larger businesses. So this checklist that I've created is something that's designed to be able to be done in 1 or 2 hours at your kitchen table. If you've got any questions throughout the presentation, please put them in the chat. One of my colleagues will be sharing the documents I refer to. She'll be sharing the checklist I just mentioned, along with some other resources that could be helpful. So this checklist has three main topics that we're going to cover. It's the people, the equipment, and the operations. People is if without the people, we usually don't have any work. So I talk about both the clients and the vendors and the staff. We need to have first all the contact information for everybody. Did somebody lose their phone last week and they got a new one and we don't realize? Or does one staff member have the contact for this vendor but nobody else does? If that staff member gets sick, how do we get in touch with that vendor if they were the only person that knew about it, right? So this is kind of like thinking through those things of, oh yeah, you're the person who always calls the ink guy for the printer. What if we run out of ink and you're not here? None of the rest of us know who to contact. So this is just to prepare that kind of stuff. Staff, vendor, client, what they bring to you, do they deliver your animal feed? Is there a schedule? How you get in touch with them? Any other notes like how they prefer to be paid, cash check, direct deposit, something like that. So you can kind of think those things through before they happen. And then also for the people, who's the center point of contact? This will probably be obvious for most small businesses because it's usually, just the owner. If there's only 5 people, we all know we can call the owner. But what if there's an owner and a manager? If I wake up one morning and I've got a temperature, do I call my supervisor? Do I call the owner? Do I call a different manager? Like, who is the person who is going to be fielding questions and concerns that come up if anybody thinks they might not be able to show up to work, right? And then when you do this plan and you've gone through the checklist and you've got something written down, where are you going to store it? And does somebody know where it is? Is it on a computer? If it's digital, is that password protected? Can somebody else get to it if you're out? How will the information be accessed, right? And then distribute the plan. Talk to the team. Take a few minutes, pass out the pieces that everybody should know about, go over some simple policies, because this is something none of us have ever had to deal with before. We all may have our own assumptions, and it's better to just address those straight on so that we can deal with it. And then we have the equipment. We hear a lot about PPE, personal protective equipment. Do you have a stockpile of that if you need it? If so, does everybody know where it is? It's useless if nobody knows where the stuff is, right? And then what about cleaning supplies? Hand sanitizer, Lysol, not just are we going to use gloves? If we're not going to use gloves, are we going to use hand sanitizer? Are we going to use soap? Do we have enough of all that stuff? Where is it, right? And then also physical keys. We sometimes forget, oh, there's a storage closet and so has the key to that, but there's no duplicates. We don't know where it's being stored. So make sure you've got copies of those sorts of things. This could be a little tricky with things that have to do with money. So, just kind of think these things through before they happen. And then also keys to social media. Where's your password for your Facebook? Does only one person have it on their cell phone? If so, could we share it with somebody else? Is there another trusted employee? How are you, if it's the main way you communicate with your clients and customers, it might be good to have more than one person be the key, have access to updating that sort of stuff. And then we get to the operations. So, how is your operation going to change if someone's sick? What I recommend doing is going through every single staff member. So, staff member A, what do they do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? What are they doing at 8, 9, 10 a.m.? If they're gone, do we have somebody who can cover them? If we don't, could we train somebody now to cover them in the future? Then staff member B, same thing. And just go down the line and think about it, right? What might happen is you do the checklist, you get through everything, great, we're ready to go. And then as you're working through your normal daily stuff, you might go, oh yeah, I never thought about that. They are a person that handles that. Maybe I should figure out how to do that too. If you've got an operations manual, make sure that's up to date so you can train someone efficiently if you need to bring them in. Better yet, maybe train some backups now while you're at full capacity. And then for the operation, clarify and reinforce your policies for staying home. I mentioned, like, I wake up with a temperature. Okay, does that mean I stay home? Do I need to test positive in order to stay home? What about if I've had contact with someone who tested positive? What about if someone in my home tested positive? What is the threshold? What are we working with? What should people expect? Because what you don't want to happen is someone who does test positive come and infect the whole operation. They just have to completely shut down. And we recommend giving a call to your insurance provider. We've got flooding insurance, that kind of stuff has come up before. Is there pandemic insurance? What kinds of coverage do you have if you need to shut down or if you need to change? What about the staff? Do they get their testing covered? Is it free? Is it partially covered? What's the deal? Just give them a call and clarify some of that stuff. And then maybe you could change your business operations a little bit. I've talked to some business owners who have implemented shifts so that there's not overlapping staff in the building, or they've minimized their hours. So they used to be open from 8 to 5, and now they're only open from 8 to 1, just so they can, have some separation between the people. Are there different procedures that you would like to implement? Temperature checks, additional hand washing stations. I've seen people have spray disinfectant by all of the doorknobs at the entrances and exits so that not only the employees but the customers can participate in keeping everyone safe. Yeah. And then the final thing is practice. Run through the steps. Even if it's just in your head, go through, what do we do if this happens? What do we do if that happens? And how do we make sure that we can, minimize the impact of someone getting sick?